So, who makes the best breakfast? Is it the English or is it the Scottish? Well, today I'm going to find out because I'm going to be trying both breakfasts to see who's best. So let's start off first with the English breakfast. For the English breakfast, I decided to go to a place called Wilson's Social. Now, I don't know too much about this place, but I've walked past it a few times and it looks pretty good inside. Plus, they do a full English breakfast, so why not check it out? Let's head in. The inside is pretty big and has a bar/pub feel to it. It's got a pool table and a main bar area in the centre where you order your food and drink. The menus are decent size with a few brunch and breakfast items which all seem to sound pretty tasty. But today we're going to go for the full English brekkie. Plus a little pot of tea where the milk comes in this old style milk jug, which is pretty cool. And it was a nice cup of tea. It was a great looking breakfast when it came out. It had all the usual items but maybe upped a level, so it's going to be quite interesting to taste them. So with this breakfast you get some vine tomatoes which look pretty tasty, a giant fried mushroom, 2 fried eggs with what looks like nice runny yolks, a hash brown that kind of looks like a potato cake, so that's going to be interesting to taste as well, a slice of black pudding, a Cumberland sausage, their homemade bacon which looks delicious, although I think it's more like some fried belly pork than bacon, a pot of baked beans in the middle, and you do get some toast which I think is hiding under the eggs. The first thing I have to do is check out the egg. The yolk isn't as runny as I would like, but it's still pretty good. Let's go in for a taste. The egg is really nice. I think it's the first one where it's already seasoned for you, and this was spot on. Next up, I want to try this Cumberland sausage. Now this was a hefty sausage. I could feel the weight of it just picking it up, and it looks to be fried really nicely too. So let's take a bite. This was delicious. There was so much flavour in this sausage. It was meaty, salty, and you could taste the herbs in it too. Probably one of the best sausages I've ever had. It's really nice. I don't think I've ever had vine tomatoes in a breakfast before, so let's try one of these out. They were sweet, juicy, and just exploded when you bit into it. Okay, let's have a look at this mushroom. Now I thought I knew big mushrooms, but this was on another level. This is hands down the biggest and heaviest mushroom I've ever had on a breakfast. I wonder what this is gonna taste like. It was juicy and meaty in texture and had a great mushroom flavour. Now this is the thing I've been most looking forward to trying, the bacon. And as I said before, it looks more like fried belly pork, but how good does this look with the fried golden brown colour on it? And the crispy looking edges too. I can't wait to try this one, so let's just do it. This was some amazing bacon, really nice. It was definitely meaty in taste and texture. It was salty, the edges were crispy, and this is one of the best things on this plate for sure. Next up, I want to balance out the salty bacon with the hopefully sweet tomatoey beans. The sauce is nice and thick, so let's take a bite. These were some great beans, sweet in flavour and a good contrast to the bacon and sausage. Now for the hash brown, which I mentioned before is more like a potato cake than hash brown, but it's pretty big and heavy with good colour on the outside, so let's try it out. Yep, I think this is definitely a potato cake. It's crispy on the outside, soft in the middle with the mashed potato, and had a really nice flavour too. I liked it. Moving on to the black pudding. It's a decent slice you get here, and it looks like it's going to be crispy as well. So let's tuck into this. This was a good black pudding. Crispy on the outside and soft in the middle. A little like the hash brown. The taste wasn't too strong, so pretty good again. Now I have a hunch the combo bite here is just going to be amazing. So here I've got sausage, tomato, hash brown and egg, plus a dip into the baked beans. This was delicious, but I think I might know something even more tasty. A combo bite with the bacon. And you've got to dip it in the beans too to get the sweetness from the sauce. Here it goes. What a bite of food. I almost forgot the toast, which is a toasted sourdough here. I'm guessing it's going to be hard and crispy. And it was. So pretty similar to most other sourdoughs I've had at other places. What a great breakfast that was. The sausage and bacon in there were amazing. So the total cost of that meal was £16. Let's move on next to the Scottish breakfast. For the Scottish breakfast, I decided to go back to a place I've actually been to before called the Koffee. It's a popular place for all different types of breakfast and one that I've enjoyed before on many occasions. So let's head in and check it out. The inside is large and open with loads of seating available in a more rustic styling. You have the main bar area in the middle and the kitchen all the way in the back. The menu is pretty comparable with the first place, but I think it's more breakfast focused here. You've got a variety of drinks available and even spirits, but I don't think I'll be having any of them with my breakfast today. So the one I'm going for here is called the Big Yin, the Scottish breakfast. Plus the customary cup of tea that always goes well with any breakfast that you get. And this one was great. So the breakfast came out looking pretty good with a lot of unusual items that I've never seen before. But this just made it more intriguing to want to try it out. So with this breakfast you get a roasted tomato, a square sausage which is a new item I've never tried, a huge fat sausage that looks to be fried perfectly, a fried egg with a runny yolk, a tatty scone sitting underneath the egg, 2 rashers of bacon that look to be fried on the crispier side, maybe a bit too crispy, a slice of fried bread, a slice of haggis, which is another new item I've never had before, and a slice of black pudding. And so there you have it, the Scottish breakfast. I'm going to start off here with the giant sausage. Now this thing was huge, but it was fried nicely and had some good colour on it. So let's go in for a bite. This sausage was a really nice one. It was meaty and juicy inside, it was slightly salty, and the outside had a little crisp when you bit into it. So really tasty. Now moving on from one sausage to another, the square sausage. So I haven't actually had one of these before, and this one kind of looks like a burger patty. So let's go in for a taste and see what it's like. It was pretty tasty. It is just as the name says, sausage meat in the shape of a square and fried instead of in a sausage skin. So pretty good. Next up, I want to try out this really crispy bacon. It's fried a little more than I usually like, but you never know what it's going to taste like. So let's try it and find out. And it's pretty crispy. The whole thing is kind of like a meat crisp, if you can imagine that. It's like a piece of bacon that's been turned into a crisp. So the eggs here are always perfect, and this one was no different. The yolk is nice and runny, and the way the yolk runs down the tatty scone is just so satisfying to watch. Moving on to the haggis. Now this is something interesting. Have a look at that. It seems to be loads of little pieces of various things crammed together, and it's already crumbling apart, so let's hurry up and taste what it's like. It's pretty crumbly. You definitely get a bit of an organy taste and various soft, hard and crunchy textures too. Maybe not my favourite item on the plate, but decent. Let's move on next to the tatty scone, which is a flat potato cake. It's got some good charring on it, so let's just take a bite. I really like this. It's soft and chewy, you get a sweet flavour along with the potato and a slight crisp to the outside, so really nice. I liked it. Next up, the fried bread. I think we all know what this is going to taste like. It's like toast but made extreme with the butter already fried into it. And it was delicious. Now for the black pudding. It's a bit of a thicker piece here and it's got a nice dark colour to it. So let's just try it out. Is it just me, or does anyone else think black pudding sometimes kind of has a minty flavour to it? Okay, now this is one of the most extreme combo bites I've ever had. So I've got the square sausage, fried bread, tatty scone and haggis, plus a dip into the egg yolk. And I just had to go for another one whilst we're at it with sausage, black pudding, egg and tomato. What a great Scottish breakfast. I particularly like the tatty scone, that was delicious. So the total cost of that meal was £14.95. So which is the better breakfast? Comment down below which one you preferred. I think for me it has to be the English breakfast. I think the beans just add that bit of sweet and sauciness that counteracts the salty, meaty flavour of the bacon and sausage, and that creates more of a balanced bite of food. Okay, if you like breakfast, click on the thumbs up icon below and click on subscribe to come along for the next food journey, and I'll see you in the next one.